All right. Thank you, everybody, for showing up, especially Deepa, who's going to share with us how to make, well, I probably shouldn't try to say it. I'll put it in the chat here. Well, I know Aloo is potatoes, right? And so,
Aaloo.
So Deepa, would you tell us what we're going to be making here and why you picked this particular recipe?
Oh, thank you so much. It's always good to be back.
Oh yeah, that's right. We like your spices so much we keep asking you to come back.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if people know, but Deepa's family has a spice factory. And so she grew up knowing how to basically layer spices. So every time I do a recipe with her, I learn a new technique. You don't just throw the spices together, you layer them, and there's different ways to make them. All right.
Yeah.
Back.
So Aloo achar is Aloo is potato. So achar is like pickle, but it's not like pickled kind of thing, but we have like two names. Like when we say sadeko pickle, it's like the fresh pickle, and then Aloo achar is more like a fresh pickle. And I think in every Nepali household, everybody knows how to make Aloo achar. It's like a really, I don't think anybody doesn't like Aloo achar in Nepal.
Well, I mean, if you had it all the time, you probably might not want to admit you didn't like it, but you'd probably be sick of it. But I don't know. I mean,
yeah, we usually like it, and we make it every festival. Like whenever it's a festival, we always have Aloo achar in our house.
Well, and one thing, I guess, every time you make it, you could make it slightly different with different blends of spices and different,
yes.
I don't know,
add-on.
Adds-on.
Because I'm adding cucumber today. You can make it plain. You can add peas to it, or cabbage, or any other vegetables if you want to add on. But most like just potato. But you can always add on other stuff to it and make it.
Yeah, I had considered, because I really like there's a Indian curried potato with peas that I really like, and I almost bought some peas.
Yeah, you can always add peas. It will be like peas.
And all different types of vegetables. Are there something you think you shouldn't add to it?
Yes, something that you cannot eat it raw. You don't.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, I was looking up. It said you could add steamed banana blossoms.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Okay, not something I would have.
You can add boiled plantains to it.
Okay, so any type of vegetable you could eat raw, or something you would slightly boil it.
Yeah, or steamed it. You can always add it on. I wouldn't add like eggplant or zucchini kind of things to it, or whatever, like pumpkins. I wouldn't add something like that to it.
Yeah.
Other than that, like you can add like steamed cauliflower or cabbage. You can add cabbage raw. You can add cucumbers. You can add celery, peppers to it.
All right, let's go down the list here and see about spices, or all the ingredients. Now, one thing, when I went to the farmer's market yesterday, I thought I would ask you. They had these beautiful sweet potatoes. Have you ever made this with sweet potatoes?
You can make it with sweet potatoes. It is all right.
It's all right, but it's not something people normally do.
Yeah, we don't use it. I mean, we just boil sweet potato, and because I think yesterday or day before yesterday was our one of the festival, like we call it Makar Sakranti, and we eat actually sweet potatoes and sesame seed balls and a little bit of lentils, like a khichdi kind of food with lots of ghee.
You said sweet potatoes and lentils in the same?
No, You
Oh,
boil sweet potato, it's like a different dish. And then
okay.
lentils and rice is like a different dish. It's called khichdi.
I think I got this mustard oil from another time with you, but it's
Oh,
so strong, like I never use it. And then the only in the US, they only sell mustard oil that says external use only. Never does it say you can use it for eating
yeah,
because
I
it's,
don't
I
know
guess,
why.
so rich. So
Yeah.
just like so I've got the mustard oil. I've used it a little bit. Let's see, go down the list. Potatoes, and then your add-on for your recipe you said was cucumber,
Mhm.
and then sesame seeds or flax seeds.
Yes, or both. Both works. If somebody has like allergies or sesame seed, they can substitute it with flax seeds, or you can
Okay.
add both. So
And is that for thickening it or just for flavor? Just like,
it won't be like mushy. It will be kind of like a flavor, I would say.
okay.
Yeah.
Then green chili. I found
Yes.
these nice, beautiful anchos.
Ooh.
And then probably not specifically. And then onion, garlic, of course,
And
mustard
cilantro.
seeds, cumin seeds, cilantro.
Mhm.
I a lot of people are allergic to cilantro, so you could use parsley,
Yes.
but that's just a garnish. And
Yes.
then cumin, coriander powder, and some vinegar or lime juice. All right.
Yeah, and you can always add on like spring onions if you're like allergic to cilantro. That
What
is
is
also.
So
the different in taste for cilantro and parsley? Is it uh,
I
much
think
different?
parsley are like really sharp and it tastes best.
yeah, for me, they if you buy the ones that are fresh grown, for me they're very similar tasting. Um, although no, cilantro definitely is a stronger taste.
Oh,
Cilantro or coriander, as it's called, is much has a stronger perfume than parsley.
And so, um, but yeah, there are people who cilantro to them tastes like soap. That they have different taste buds. All right, and then of course the basic ingredient is lots and lots or little bit of potatoes, right? So,
lots of potatoes. The more potatoes, the better. So we need to boil our potatoes. It should be boiled. Have we already boiled it? If we haven't, then we have to boil it. I have just like put it in
all
my
right.
gas stove.
You have yours boiled already?
It's boiling up.
Okay. I actually am, because I always cook a large quantity, I'm gonna also make them in the pressure cooker.
Yeah,
So,
that's better.
and do you cut them up at all? Or you just,
No, I just put it in,
all right.
put it up.
And then, so yeah, I'll do a small pot here with a few. And then this is 10 pounds of potatoes, so I'm gonna make a bunch for other people. Also, let me throw this in the pressure cooker. So,
Okay.
and then lead us on.
Sounds good. Okay. So first, my potato is boiling, so it might take like 3 or 4 minutes. It's almost done. So we'll start with onion.
I guess, should I put this on the back burner because I'll need the front burner? So, all right. I do have some mustard powder too.
I I need mustard seeds. I don't usually use mustard powder, but
Yeah, mustard seeds are definitely better. I really like just buying the seeds and doing it fresh. So let's see. We're cutting. Are we just cutting up the onions and garlic?
yeah, we are just cutting up onions for now.
Any particular size?
Like a Julian cut, like
Okay,
longer,
not minced.
not minced.
Oh, these onions are just going in the potato salad.
Yes.
Oh, there's. I grew up in the south of the U.S. and every event we had together, we had potato salad, and everybody had a different version. But in the U.S., it was almost always potatoes with hard-boiled eggs in it. But yes, because these onions are going directly into it, instead of like you could use purple onions or sweet onions or
Yeah, any.
just green onions,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
But I really like the purple ones, so I usually use purple ones.
I guess I should actually show. All right, I'm already crying. Anybody have any tips? I don't know. I feel like I've tried every tip for onions.
Just
I heard a cook the other day say a real sharp knife helps because if it's not sharp, it crushes the cells of the onion and releases more of the stuff. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I heard.
or you can wear helmet.
Yeah, I've seen that. It just like actually I have done it where I wore, like when I grind my spices or chop up a lot of spices, where I wear the what do you call it, a face mask and goggles. You know, you just so, but I don't see the goggles. I see the face mask, but and then what do we do with the garlic? Are we doing the same thing?
We can crush them actually. Yes.
That are we? The garlic, does it get cooked, or we just are adding it to the potatoes?
And just make it like really fine, like very small.
What do they call that? Minced?
Minced, yeah.
Do I put that with the onions? That's all right, or am I gonna?
Yeah, we can do that. And
Do
if you have ginger, do the same with ginger. Like
You say
mint.
add ginger?
You can always add ginger. I like adding ginger.
Because that wasn't in the recipe, but
Yeah, that wasn't. I'm just adding up the stuff. I had ginger, so I'm just using it.
I like ginger a lot. All right. But We're just putting all the garlic and onions together.
Mhm.
Potatoes are boiling.
Yeah.
We're trying to.
And we can peel
Do you
out.
ever put any other vegetables? Like I have seen potato salad in the US where they actually added carrots to it.
You might
Oil.
want to grate a carrot if you are adding a carrot to it. You can
Okay,
always add carrot.
So you can add carrot, but you don't do like the US where they boil it together sometimes. But and is this potato salad, this one is always spicy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
It's supposed to be spicy.
I feel like I've had some potato salad in the US that people just add pickle relish, and so pickle relish can be sweet. So I've had sweet potato salad before. I guess how much you chop the garlic up is dependent on how much of a bite you want of fresh garlic in your potato salad, right?
Mhm.
If you like big chunks. So is there anything we cook besides the potatoes?
No, just potatoes for now.
Okay. So basically, so we don't even toast the sesame seeds.
We do, but for now we're just like we
Okay.
need to toast it.
I always like toasting sesame seeds because it always seems to stretch out. It makes it
And
you
I think
that you
it's
get a
like,
lot more.
like a diced one, like very small.
And then I'm lazy. I just buy the toasted sesame oil.
Mhm.
Just put a little of that in something. Ooh-wee. You can see I have it set right there. I use that a lot. But I do know that when you make some fresh toasted sesame oil, definitely tastes better. All right. What else do I have to cut up? So we're just cutting everything up to go into the salad.
Yeah.
Probably need a bigger bowl. You ever add tomatoes to it?
Not really. Not really.
So, all right. I personally don't really like green peppers. So, or, just like the green bell peppers.
Mm-hmm.
So I got these poblanos, which I don't know, have a different flavor. But
Looks like my potatoes are done.
you peel your potatoes?
Yeah. We have to peel potatoes. I also press it.
Yeah, my potatoes are boiling away. Let's see. Trying to think what other things people put. Oh, in the US, people put celery in potato salad to give it some texture.
You can always put celery, but I think celery has like some taste, smell, or taste to it. So
But you don't want to put too much of anything
yes. Potato would be like the main, and other are like supporting, because cucumber usually doesn't have its own like flavor to it, so it's really good to add cucumbers. And peas make it like a little bit sweeter, so that is good to add. I'm just peeling my potatoes.
How long do you feel like you cook your potatoes? Or I guess it's, I mean, that's not the question. How well cooked are they?
Like for a potato salad.
I mean, you don't want them to be very mashed, right? You want them to be pretty solid.
It's fine. It doesn't have to be very mashed, but it can be soft. It has to have a little bit of texture.
So it's really just a texture thing. If someone likes, all right. The cucumber, do you peel that?
I did peel it, but it's up to you.
Good.
Have to.
Does anybody do this? Like I grew up, like you pick a cucumber, you always cut off the end, and then you do this, and that pulls the bitterness out of it. You rub it back and forth, and you might do it on both ends, and then you chop off that piece, and that piece will be bitter. I don't know. Something I grew up doing.
I do I mean, we do a lot in Pakistan as well, and
we do that too.
In US, I think it's a different quality. Even if you rub it, you don't get anything bitterness from after rubbing.
Well, I know when I buy them from the farmer's market, I think, they're grown, the outside gets bitter the longer it's in the sun. And it gets a thicker skin too.
So it depends on the quality or where it's grown up, I mean, where it's coming from. So Deepa, what did you put so far in this? You put onion, garlic.
Garlic, and I had this ginger, so I just chopped ginger and added ginger and cucumbers. That's all I have put yet. And my potatoes are done.
Oh yeah, I probably should check mine. They cook pretty quick. I always tend to forget about potatoes and overcook them. So
I cooked my potatoes in a pressure cooker. I just put it in one whistle, and then it was okay. It was done in one whistle. So I don't know.
It still definitely needs to cook more. I just, it's how easy it is to go in there.
And with potatoes, I like to make bigger chunks. So even if I mash later on, it has like a texture. So like a little bit bigger chunks. Something like this size.
All right. So far I've got onions, garlic, 2 of the peppers so far cut up, and almost a cucumber. I'm trying to, let me see if I've got some fresh ginger, right? You put in? I got some fresh ginger. This is like, the cucumber will give it really, I don't know, make it a lot more mild.
Yeah, it blends really good. So I like putting cucumber.
I have used in the summer when there's lots and lots of zucchinis in season, I have used zucchinis instead of cucumbers, but then I have to cut them a lot smaller because they're have more texture.
Mm.
There's definitely less water in a zucchini. All right.
So my potatoes are done. So I have cucumber, onions, garlic, ginger, and potatoes. Now I'll pop some chili.
I wasn't paying attention. You peeled those really quick. I guess it's not very many of them. I got one more pepper. Let's see. I'm getting a good stock of stuff for veggie broth later. I got the peppers and garlic and onions.
And potato, this aloo achar should be spicy. Like it's supposed to be spicy. So I'm putting lots of chilies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kind of 8, but these are like smaller. So.
Ooh, you got the real good chilies. You're making it really spicy. I'm definitely using the mild peppers here with this, so I'm gonna have to add a lot more spice.
So all I'll do is like split in half. Like if you have like a more thicker chilies, then make it like a long julienne cut or something like that.
Are you taking the seeds out at all or not?
No.
You really want the spice in there, yeah.
Yeah, that's why. So, so I'm just cutting it in half.
Man, my potatoes are definitely.
I replace them.
Are seeds of chili unhealthy?
No, they are spicy.
No, that's where the spice is. Usually there's a lot more spice in the seed.
Don't hit
Right.
your nose after you've cut up those chilies. Keep your fingers out of your face.
Not only your nose, your eyes,
Face as well.
like
I actually have some latex gloves in my kitchen, box of them. I use them when I do chilies like that. Because it'll get, under your fingernails or whatever, and an hour later you'll rub your eye and you'll have a big surprise.
Yeah, it happens if you're not used to it. So it's better to use a glove, but I'm used to cutting chilies. So
you're used to getting hot pepper in your eye?
Used to cutting chili, yeah. And now I'm like cutting the cilantro a bunch. Just rinse it.
Do you just put the leaves, or do you put the stalk, the stems also cut real fine?
Yeah, cut real fine, and then I like to use everything of cilantro, but I'll cut it like really fine, and I'll just put everything.
Yeah, see, I'm doing a lot because I'm doing 10 pounds of potatoes.
So
it was like, what? This big bag. It's like 4.5 kilos. But most of that is in the pressure cooker.
Which potatoes? White, brown?
any works. I'm using the golden potatoes, and one was crushed or something.
Because potatoes have different tastes, like some are, plain, or some are very without any taste.
I usually keep quite a bit of ginger, but it's all dried out now. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm on pause unless there's. Oh, I could toast the sesame. You said toast the sesame seeds.
Yes, I'm
Otherwise,
starting
I
to
don't-
toast mine.
Do you toast the mustard seeds also?
No, just the sesame. We need to fry mustard seeds later on, just like a tampering kind of thing. So
Okay.
how much sesame seeds do you have?
I don't know. It's about a half a cup. That's
Do
all I have left.
I think I have to send you some. You might. Do you have flax seeds, flax powder, or something?
I can look. Usually, I have some for baking. Where is it? Flaxseed. All right. Give me 2 minutes.
2 minutes are too much time.
So let me start toasting the sesame seeds. I think I'm using a cup of sesame seeds.
Toasting with some oil or just without any oil?
Without any oil, just toasting it plain.
All right. No easy place to find that.
Okay.
All right. I got that. Make sure the pan is almost ready for toasting. What temperature do you toast it at?
I'm toasting at medium and medium high between, but you need to like just make
Wait.
sure it doesn't
Do I
burn.
start with the pan hot or do I slowly raise the temperature?
I usually start with the pan hot.
Okay.
Toast until when it's get brown or just get hot?
When you start smelling it? No, that would
Yeah,
be too early.
yeah. And always you can check, like just eat like 2 or 3 seeds, and then you'll know like if it's like really, it has that crunch, then you'll know that it's done.
So you're just trying to add some flavor to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
It
almost
actually
always toast my sesame seeds. It seems to like double the flavor.
yeah,
Or
it
triple. I don't know. It just adds a lot more flavor to it. These potatoes do not want to cook. But
Yeah, there are some potatoes which takes a lot of time to be boiled.
Every time you open the lid, you lose a lot of heat.
oh yeah. Very true. What do they say? A watch pot doesn't cook. I mean, it's boiling, but it's all right. So then I've got my sesame seeds. Turmeric powder. Let's see, coriander and cumin, we needed some powder, so I'll have to grind some powder. How much do
You
we need?
can, if you have like some curry powder or spices, that also works fine.
Okay. But yeah, I just keep it as seeds. I buy them.
Okay.
This is my
Yeah, we have
small.
to grind these as well later on. So
Yeah, see, here's my big jar of coriander seeds. So, oh, it's starting to smell good. I don't know, it looks like that was weird. Some of them sticking to the side.
You need to.
But yeah, I almost never keep cumin powder. I almost always grind it fresh. Oh wait, never mind. I forgot I did buy some ground cumin. But all right. So I think I'm gonna have a little more tea. Before we started recording, I was talking to our Canadian guest. I was gonna start complaining that it was cold here, and then I realized there was someone here from Canada. But
Not always cold here. We do have summer.
it's starting to pop now, so that's usually what I do is I just go until it pops, and then
Yeah, never walk away from those sesame seeds when you're toasting them, or you'll be in trouble.
especially if you have a thick pan, it'll retain the heat. You might shut it off and it'll still keep cooking. I've done that before, where I was like, oh, it's done. I shut it off, and then I went and did something else, and then like 3 minutes later, it was like pop, 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 pop. It started like popcorn and. All right.
I'm using model and pestle for grinding my sesame, but you can grind it in a mixer jar or whatever you have.
Ooh, you have a nice big one.
Oh, this one? Yeah.
Let's have this cute little one. So how well are you grinding it? Are you just cracking them, or are you actually making a paste?
Kind of a paste in between. Not like very pasty, but
Then I'm gonna run. I'm gonna be lazy and run it through the actual grinder then. This grinder. I call it a spice grinder. It's originally a coffee grinder. So all right. Oh my goodness, that smells good.
if you have like less sesame seed, do you think you have like peanuts?
Peanuts?
Peanuts, roasted peanuts.
Let's see, I've got peanuts, I've got walnuts, I've got cashews.
Okay, if you have like roasted peanuts, you can grind that as well, like a cup of roasted peanuts.
Okay.
Like a cup.
See, how much do we need?
We'll need this like cup or more. If you're making like 5 potatoes, then you'll need a cup of sesame seeds. And you're making like 10 kilos, 5 kilos. That means like you need like 5 or 6 cups of peanuts.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Huh?
Or sesame. Or flax seeds. Because you want to add a little bit of protein to this, just because this is like kind of starch. But
Growing up, my mom always put flax seeds in our oatmeal.
yeah.
All right, look at that. Now do some nuts also, huh?
Let's turn it on.
How long does this keep? I mean, is this something you would make like you could make a few days before, or do you always make it basically?
I like to make it fresh, but you can always like make it and keep it in a jar, airtight container, and then use it later on.
I guess what you could do is just make the potatoes and then make everything else fresh.
Yeah.
But I guess, I mean, the potatoes don't take that long. Nothing. All right. I managed to not open the pan for a long time, so let's see. All right, there we go. That's good.
It's cooked. Yay. Right on time.
Also, if you're in a rush, you can cut the potatoes up. They'll cook faster.
You guys see that this pot has the pot holder on it. The lid, right? I thought that was a cool little function.
So does your pressure cooker. Did you know that? Your pressure cooker has a lid holder also.
I always forget about that.
Fits right in the handle.
Can you recap like what was in the pan? You toasted sesame seeds, and now what's in your mortar and pestle?
This is toasted sesame seeds.
So
You can always grind it in a mixer, but I'm like putting in a mortar and pestle and just grinding it by hand.
and also you're grinding up what else is in there?
Just sesame seeds.
Okay.
So,
And then what's going in the pan?
And this like mixer.
Oh, I thought you were cooking something in a skillet, like a hot toast.
oh, that was we've toasted the sesame seeds.
Okay, got that.
Yeah,
But that's it. So where does the oil come in? That's going to go into the potato salad?
Oh, yeah, later on. We'll work on that.
Okay, got it.
Okay. So now I'm just putting my grinded sesame seed.
I suppose if you had toasted sesame seeds already, you wouldn't have to toast them.
Yeah, I think, but when you freshly toast it, it has like more flavor. If you already have like toasted ones, I don't know. I feel like it loses flavor or something.
So I guess my question for everybody else is, do you guys always peel the potatoes? Like I grew up, you never, ever, ever peeled potatoes. So
Depending on the kind of potato.
I was just told that I grew up with the impression that your nutrition is in the skin, so don't take it off.
I agree. I think of the, sort of the real, some of them, what do they call them? Some potatoes got kind of a much thicker kind of a skin.
And now I've actually seen like, they call it rustic potato salad, where it's the whole potato with maybe like an Italian dressing on it.
And I'm adding a little bit of like half cup of what is those flax seeds powder, but it's optional. You don't have to. If you have flax seed powder, you can always add it.
What do you think the purpose of that is?
I think it enhances the flavor a little bit, and then flax seeds are good for you. It's just that.
Yeah, I know my mom used to put flax seeds in a lot of things, and we always tried to ask her, what's the purpose?
And because one other reason would be because cucumber has a little bit of water texture in it, so this helps to like control the mushiness of our.
That makes sense.
So at this point, I'll be adding salt. Salt to your taste, and I think the salad needs a little bit more salt than you usually use.
All right, there's my potatoes are all peeled.
And
So
I have black salt, so I'm using it. Sorry, yeah.
you put the ground sesame seed in there already,
Yes,
and you put just flaxseed powder.
flax seed powder, yeah.
And how much of that did you put in?
I put like a cup of sesame seeds powder and half cup of flax seeds powder.
Now the flax seeds don't get toasted if you're starting with but do you grind them as well if you don't have the powder flax seed?
Oh, if you don't have, then you have to toast it. If it's not toasted, then you might want to toast it.
But treat the flax seeds the same way you do the sesame seeds.
Yes.
And so it's a cup of sesame seed and a half a cup of flax seeds approximately.
Yes. And it doesn't always have to be flax seeds. You can add like almond powder or peanut powder or anything. And if you're adding like a cup of sesame seed and half cup of anything else works.
Got it.
And I put salt in this. And lots of vinegar and lime juice. Not a lot, but I think I would add.
So I guess my question is, probably wouldn't want apple cider vinegar because that's a sweet, because we're going for a very savory here.
Yeah, very savory kind.
All right, so
Vinegar, and I think I added 2 tablespoons of vinegar, and I think I'll add 1 tablespoon of lime juice.
then, all right, so far I have only in here, potatoes, roasted. I put roasted sesames and nuts. Now I'm gonna add the cucumbers and onions and garlic. Where's the garlic at? There it is. Mm-hmm. And some peppers. And then you said vinegar and lime juice.
Yes.
Just a little bit of each.
Little bit more than you used to. Like make it like a pickle kind of thing, because it's aachar,
So I put,
it's like a side dish. So you want a little bit more spice, like in this, little bit more flavor. So I add a little bit more salt, and I added like 2 tablespoons of vinegar and 1 tablespoon of lime juice.
and you said, so I still have, oh yeah, and we have cilantro in there too.
Yeah, we'll add that at the end, not right now.
And then I've got mustard seeds,
Yeah, and
mustard
now,
powder, and mustard oil.
yeah, now what we'll do is we'll heat up a pan, like a small pan, if you have like a smaller pan. And we'll heat up our mustard oil in that.
Right.
You might need at least like 3 tablespoons of mustard oil.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, because we are making it spicy.
Yeah.
I found out the answer to the external use of mustard oil.
Okay.
They did some kind of study and they said there's some acid in there that's not, I don't know, bad for your heart or something like that. So the US, that's why they put that thing on there. But I mean, it's the old story. You'd have to drink like a gallon of it probably to affect you.
Yeah, this one right here says packed in the UK. So this came from the UK. But yeah, it says 100% pure mustard oil, external use only.
Yeah, that's something the US requires them to put on the label.
Yeah. Produced from the finest select mustard seeds to produce a legendary massage oil.
There's actually a company. There's a
I'm gonna
company
massage my inside of my stomach, I guess is that.
Well, there's a company in
mustard oil on sale here.
What'd you say?
I said I've never seen mustard oil on sale here. You say it's produced in the UK.
Yeah,
well, this says
seems
packed in the UK. I don't know.
I've never seen.
Packed in UK, but came from India or Pakistan.
seems strange. There's so much Indian cuisine in the UK.
I mean, I got this at an international food store, but reading the ingredients, I mean, it basically says this is to be used as a massage oil.
But I heard that mustard oil is the best oil for cooking, better than even vegetable oil and other stuff for health.
But yeah, on it is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 languages are printed on it.
There's a company in Australia that developed a mustard seed that has less of the acid that's supposed to be a problem, but it costs like a fortune if you want to buy it. I don't think it's a problem if you don't, unless you really use a lot of mustard oil, which probably most people don't.
All right, so we're warming up this mustard oil.
Yeah, you need to see a little bit of smoke in it, and then you'll know like it's ready to be used.
All right.
Has a high smoke point.
Yeah.
Pretty high.
You can like feel the smell of mustard oil if it's getting heated up.
All right. I don't need my mustard powder, right?
No.
All right. I like using that when I make American potato salad. I put mustard powder in it, or just some wet mustard. So, all right. So I still don't have. Let's see, what am I missing in here? I'm missing coriander and cumin.
Mm-hmm. We'll be using that now.
All right.
So my mustard oil is heated up now.
All right, mine is too. Do it. And that's where we're going to start adding the different spices.
Yeah, we have to start with, I have like fenugreek seed, so I'll be adding a little bit of fenugreek seed, but you don't have to add fenugreek.
I do too. All right, fenugreek.
Yeah, if you have
Like half a teaspoon.
half a teaspoon. And now I want to take this off from the heat. I'm taking my oil out of the heat.
Okay, the oil off the heat.
Yeah. Oil off the
And then
heat.
put half a teaspoon fenugreek so far.
And a teaspoon of mustard. And you can hear the crackle.
I didn't hear you. A teaspoon of what?
Mustard, tablespoon of mustard seed. Or a teaspoon, whatever feels comfortable.
Well, I didn't put much chilies on here, so I'm going to have to get some spice somehow.
And I'm using a teaspoon or a tablespoon of those cumin and coriander powder in this.
Cumin and coriander powder. So I don't have either of those as a powder. Well, no, I've got cumin as a powder.
And a tablespoon of turmeric.
Hers is really bubbling up, or you might need a little more heat on your.
Mine
oil.
shut off.
And
Well,
said
hers
hers
is
is-
bubbling. Hers is bubbling when
Oh,
she's
that's-
adding stuff to it.
And I'm adding chilies to this.
Yeah, you're right. It's not bubbling. All right.
And then I'll just put it on the top.
Wow.
Let's see, what am I missed? You put powdered coriander, right?
Yes.
Got
And cumin seeds. Did you add the cumin seeds?
I did not.
She also added her chilies.
Yes.
Turmeric.
Turmeric.
And turmeric.
And all of that's going into the oil.
Yes. And then you put the oil and then you mix it. I like to mix it with my hand, but you can mix it with spatula, whatever you like. But I like to mix it with my hand.
Yeah, your spices aren't going anyplace, or
They're frying.
you need to stir them up.
All right. Stir it up.
With your little spoon.
And now on top of it, I'm adding this cut cilantro.
This is flavorful. This is gonna be flavorful.
Wow.
All right, I don't want to waste any of this flavor, so I'm gonna put a little potatoes in there.
She did that also.
Yeah, I did that.
Oh, okay.
Clean up
I thought
the
I was
pan.
doing something special. So what do I got missing?
Now you put that, you put it in your, yeah, just put it in. And voila, it's done.
Wow, that looks great.
Not flavorful. All right.
You got to stir it up with a big spoon.
I like. There's quite a bit of sesame. Yep, it's very dry. Mine.
How much oil did you put in?
Oh yeah, well, I didn't actually measure the oil, huh? Oh yeah, I put 3 tablespoons.
Then that should be fine.
All right.
Did you add your
Those-
vinegar? Yeah, did you add your vinegar and your lemon juice, or?
I did. Yep. Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, it's very dry. So, but, all right, here goes the taste test. Wait, we're done, right, Deepa?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay.
Yeah, you might want to make it a little bit, if it's not a little bit sour or salty, you can always add it in. And it's like a side dish. It goes really good with anything you're eating.
Mhm. All right, let's see. I'm trying to think what might you need more of.
So can I have you recap the starting, what happens in the saucepan with the hot oil? It's mustard
Yes.
oil
Mustard, yeah, mustard
and
oil.
get it real hot.
Mhm.
Take it off the heat and then what?
Then add mustard seeds. If you have fenugreek seeds, you can add fenugreek seeds.
Okay, mustard seed, fenugreek seed.
And cumin seeds.
And the reason she said a little pan and she showed us a little pan is so it will be deeper, the oil will be deeper in the pan.
Yeah.
If you put it in a big pan, then it's not deep enough to fry the spices.
Yeah.
All right, so give me the, once again, I don't have it pulled up. I'm finding it a little difficult to cook, watch, and hear and measure. So recap in the hot oil, shallow pan, so it's a little deeper, 3 tablespoons. And then the mustard seeds.
Yes, 1 teaspoon or 1 tablespoon, whatever is comfortable with you. Maybe 1 teaspoon at the first because it might be very spicy.
Okay, and then what other seed? You said fenugreek?
1 teaspoon of fenugreek seeds, if you have fenugreek seeds. And 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds.
And a teaspoon of cumin seeds. And these get adjusted as you get accustomed to the
And
flavor.
then you add powdered
Turmeric?
Yes,
powdered
1 tablespoon of turmeric powder. And 1 tablespoon of curry powder, or if you have like a ground cumin and coriander powder, you can add that, whatever is available.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I have hot curry powder. That's what it says on the packaging, hot curry powder. That's what I'd want to use.
Yeah, then don't use it much. It might be like really, really hot. So just half a teaspoon of curry powder, then half a teaspoon of curry powder.
Because you're trying to get it like what? Basically slightly sour, slightly mustard, slightly spicy,
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
That's the goal taste.
yes. You need to have like a flavor of like a taste of everything, like a little bit salty, little bit of sweetness from vinegar and salt kind of thing, and a little bit of sourness and a little bit of spicy, like hot. So everything.
Those fresh chilies are going to make it pretty spicy.
Yeah.
But you're also
Is
are you trying to make it so it's pretty strong that it's not something you really want to eat by itself? right?
Yeah,
Or no?
it's like a side. You can always eat it by itself, but you can always add it in something else to it.
So is
That's
there,
it. Yeah.
trying to get this down so I can do it. Is that all there is to the oil? And then you toast that up in the oil and then you pour it hot over your
Yes.
potato salad. Now,
Oh,
tell
man.
me about the vinegars again that go in. That goes in before you add the oil.
Mhm.
And tell me how much or what.
I
What?
added like 2 tablespoons of vinegar and a tablespoon of lime juice to it.
And what kind of vinegar did you use?
I use
White vinegar?
Not
Yeah, white
sweet.
vinegar.
natural distilled white vinegar. Yeah.
But any kind of vinegar could be used with the, okay,
Well,
satisfaction.
as Or mentioned, you're trying to make it savory, not sweet. So if you put apple vinegar, it would go towards sweet. So
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause, for example, I have a lot of apple cider vinegar, and I've got, what is it, the Japanese vinegar that's very sweet.
yeah,
And how much lime juice?
Like if you're putting, it's like half lime juice, like 2 tablespoons of vinegar, then a tablespoon of lime juice.
Okay. And can lemon be substituted? Does it make a difference in the flavor very much?
Yes, lime, lemon, anything.
You just want an acid.
Yeah, just like a citrusy flavor to it.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah, it seems like if you, by putting the sour, you can make it spicier. You know, it doesn't seem spicy. By raising the sourness level, it makes it so that you can also raise the spiciness level.
I did have one more question about the oil that I do not have the hot mustard oil. So you said any other kind of oil would be a fine substitute. If I have like avocado oil or walnut oil, is there a preference or should I go with a more like non-flavorful?
Yes,
canola?
something that has like a higher, like frying, like a canola oil or sunflower oil, not like avocado or olive
No,
oil.
avocado is high heat too.
Okay, then maybe
Yeah.
you can, but I would go with something like canola oil,
Okay,
like a frying kind of oil.
got it.
I've never done it with avocado oil, so I don't know. But with canola oil, it is fine.
So let's see.
On the avocado oil, it says high smoke point, and it doesn't really have a flavor.
Then I think we can use it.
Yeah, it says perfect for dressings and marinades, high smoke point, cold press.
And you could crack some mustard seeds and toast them in the oil to flavor it.
Yeah, well, this is what everything's getting toasted in.
Well, no, but I mean to get the mustard oil,
because you don't have mustard oil.
you
Got
could crack some mustard seeds, toast them in the oil first, and then add all those other spices once the oil starts turning a little yellow.
Got it. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions? I need to sit down and eat like half of this right now. I've taste
Must be
tested it.
delicious.
So, let me look and see.
So
We've got people from 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 countries. All right. Fun times. Any other final questions and a thank you to Deepa before wrap up the recording?
so why do you call aloo ka achar? Why not is aloo ka salad?
It's because we're making it like achar. We call it like, there are like 2 terms for us. You know, I think even in Hindi also, if you're making it with salt and sourness, it's more like achar.
So
Call it a
could
pickle.
it be? I was
Like
going to say,
banda gobi achar.
can you call it a pickle?
It's a pickle, but it's like a fresh pickle. We don't like marinate and let it sit for overnight or some months, but it's like fresh.
The pickle is a kind of little bit you can eat, but the salad you can eat more. So this is
Yeah, pickle is more of a
this is
condiment.
more.
Yeah.
You can eat
Yeah.
more.
In Nepal, we make like aloo achar, like a potato pickle and like plantains pickle. You can eat more, but we call it achar in Nepal. The term in Nepal is like achar for if it's like spicy and has sour and salty taste. So we just call it achar.
It's not like the pickle you go buy in the jar, Indian pickle.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's more like
That's
fresh.
that's more like a condiment that you put on top
But
of things.
it's I would say a similar flavor to me. Like I bought
But the potatoes would go bad, right? So a pickle is something that lasts a long time.
Well,
but as a
it's the
salad,
it's
you
yeah, it's a
need to
potato.
use it sooner, I think.
Yeah, it's a
Yes.
potato. The
Mhm.
potatoes that dilute it, so it's not really like a bottled pickle because
Yeah.
potatoes in there.
They're still going to, yeah, you I think Deepa said you'd use it in 3 or 4 days, right?
Usually I think it goes bad if you keep for a long time. We
Yeah.
make it fresh. Every
Yeah.
time we have to eat it.
Yes, you
And then
experiment with using it longer. So
Deepa, Maureen and I, we could put the food outside and it would freeze and it would be good for like a month
yeah.
right now. So, I mean, for us, we usually think about you could store things a long time because, I mean, it's just the weather.
Mm.
But
No.
most places in the world, it's too hot. So you always make just fresh. So,
So
all right.
That's
Thank
true.
you so much for
Thank you.
sharing your spices again with us. And we look forward to having you come on the show again sometime.
Sure.
That was
I'm
wonderful. Wonderful dish.
I'm glad to share this.
Thank you.
If anybody can make it, I think they'll like it. If they like spices, because this is like a go-to dish for everybody in Nepal.
Well, I mean, mine, I really like spices, but I feel like this is very mild.
Oh,
Like,
maybe they put
because
like the chilies, like really good
Yeah.
chilies. So
I didn't
then-
put the chilies.
Oh, you put anchos, not serrano. So
That's
if you
true.
use that, if you had serrano chilies in there, you'd really notice it.
yeah.
So if you take that out, it tastes very, very mild. But
Yeah.
because the sourness blunts the spiciness, so
Yeah.
it like is a balance. So, all
So
right.
it's-
and also with cucumber, it reduces
Oh,
the.
that's true. Cucumber definitely
Yeah.
makes it a lot more fresh and springy and
Like when you have raita, cucumber in yogurt, it
Oh yeah. Right.
cuts down the hot spice. I think I need to go to the new Nepali restaurant in my city.
There you go.
I'm pretty
And then
sure
I'll ask.
they have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pakistan, we also make like this, and then it's called aloo ki tikya. So you, with the same material, you can just make a round shape and then fry it on, with something. With
you make
flour.
like a ball and deep fry it.
Yeah, not ball, like
A patty.
like patty, yeah, like a
Okay.
patty, and then fry it a little bit, fry it, and then it
Well, that
just,
sounds good too.
yeah. You can try because, or you have enough. So maybe you can try to fry.
Yeah, you got the pan right there. You could.
Yeah,
just,
you try to give me more work. Like I'm gonna just enjoy this food for the rest of the Sunday afternoon. That's not true. I love cooking. I'll probably cook some more for the rest of the afternoon. I have the rest of it to make. I have to make like a big batch.
I think there is I think Pravesh just send you some food that you can try it.